Does the thought of creating content overwhelm you? I've got a shortcut. In this video, I'm sharing my top 10 favorite content creation services. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Number one, Siteground. So Siteground is a website hosting service, and I've been using them for several years. The price, the service, everything is great about this particular company. I've used other web hosting services in the past, and let's just say it was not good. And so I was a little nervous when I migrated over to SiteGround because I had had some kind of nightmare experiences with other hosting companies, and I never looked back. I mean, they guided me through the whole process. I've never had any issues with my website being down. I've always been in a position to easily back up my website. They have a great affiliate program. The customer service is great. I don't care what time of the day I've had, I hardly ever have to contact them. But if I do, I always have the ability to talk with someone via chat, and it's just great. And there's a lot of web hosting companies out there, and I highly suggest that you choose SiteGround, especially if you have a WordPress website. You're going to want to make sure that you have a good hosting company, and I have nothing but good things to say about SiteGround. So I want you guys to check that out as well. My next company that I would put on this list is Bluchic. So those of you that are familiar with WordPress, there's quite a few companies out there that offer WordPress templates. But I really like Bluchic's templates. They're definitely more feminine, but they're really beautiful templates, and they're very SEO friendly. And the couple that owns this particular company is just amazing. So, their husband and wife team, and they're just great. I've had their WordPress websites for several years. So whenever I want a refresh of my website, I can easily go to Bluchic and find a template that works with what I want to do, and then I customize it. So for those of you that don't necessarily want to, um, you know, do a whole lot of like installing and customizing and all that good stuff, you have the ability for them to install your template for you, and then you can just take it from there in terms of customizing it with your copy and content and all that stuff. So, um, however, if you love like the foundation of the template and then you want to customize it further, you have the ability to do that too. I don't always like starting from scratch. And so I love their templates because they're great out of the box, but you also have the ability to customize it because, hey, you might want to have a frequently asked page, frequently asked questions section at the top instead of the bottom. You have the ability to actually move around those components. So, um, I really like their website templates. So that's something that you might want to check out. I'm looking at my little list here. Camtasia. I do a lot of tutorials. I like sharing my screen. And so doing a lot of these tutorials, Camtasia really allows you the ability to do a lot with your screen recordings that I just have not been in a position to see with other companies. Like Camtasia, I've been using them forever. So when it comes to doing a lot of the tech tutorials that I do, I'm using Camtasia. There's just a lot that you can do. You can, blur certain content that's sensitive. You can add annotations. You can, voiceover narrate. There's just a lot that you can do within this particular software. So if you're doing a lot of tutorials, I want you to check out Camtasia. Okay. I'm looking at my little list here. And so another product that I want you to check out as well, in the event that you don't feel very comfortable with editing and doing a lot of editing. So I do a lot of editing because I've got a podcast, the Hustle and Faith podcast. I do voiceover work. So I'm used to recording and editing. However, with regular like recording software. So if you are not as well versed or seasoned, however you want to phrase it, when it comes to editing, I want you to take a look at Descript. So, Descript allows you to create videos, and then you have the ability to edit the video like you would a Word doc. So, it literally has the video like on one side of the screen, and then you've got your words on the other side. You can get rid of fillers such as ums or silence and all those kind of like awkward pauses. You can easily get rid of that by just clicking on the word and delete. So you're literally editing the video using it feels like a Word doc. So that's something that I definitely want you guys to look into in the event that you um, don't are short on time or just don't feel comfortable editing your videos with the recording software such as Camtasia, Final Cut, Adobe Premiere. If you just want to just get out there and kind of stop stalling, because I know for a while I was one of those folks, like I did not want to jump into the content creation game because I was like, well, I don't know how to edit and I just, uh-uh. And that was back in the day. So I had to teach myself how to edit using some of those programs that I just named. Now you have the ability to use Descript, and that is literally just like editing using a Word doc. So you may be wondering, okay, if you know how to use some of these other recording software, then why am I using Descript? And the reason I use Descript sometimes is because of certain particular features, such as the Underlord features is really cool. I really like that. And I'm hoping that's something maybe Camtasia may one day incorporate into their software. But the Underlord features is really cool. So when you're creating videos, especially if they are going on YouTube, the features that are in there help you draft your title, your summary, timestamps. There's a section in there where it creates social media post prompts, which is super cool, which cuts down on you having to manually figure out what am I going to say? How am I going to, it takes care of all of that for you by just uploading the video, and then you're just going through editing the video as you would a Word doc. And I think that's pretty cool. So you're saving a lot of time, the learning curve is incredibly low, and so there's really no reason why you should not be, using that as, editing your videos in the event that you're not in a position to learn something like Camtasia or Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere. Um, I think DaVinci Resolve's another one. So, again, I don't want to I don't want folks feeling like they have to have all of the technology down packed before they start creating content, because it's just simply not true. And then there's another feature in Descript that I want to bring to your attention, which I think is super cool, which is the AI feature. I think it's called the green screen AI feature. So let's say, for example, you're doing a longer video and you don't want to really make any mistakes, right? You want to make sure that you're reading. Like when you tend to read, you have a tendency to kind of like look down. And so Descript has this AI feature that enables you to minimize looking like you're reading your content. And I know that sounds crazy, but I've used that a couple times. I did not for this video because I already knew my content, so I didn't need to use that particular feature for this video. But in the event that you've got a long list of items that you want to talk about, you can use that AI feature, and I'm telling you, it works. It really makes it look like you were looking at the camera the entire time. So that's something that you may want to take into consideration. Okay. Another feature that I love, another service I should say that I love, is Opus Pro. So Opus, uh, I have the pro version of Opus Clips, I should say. So Opus is one of my favorite services as well, because when I create a lot of long form content. So my videos tend to be, kind of around like the 10 to 30 minutes. It depends on the topic and if I have guests on. So my videos tend to be more long form. However, I know, we all folks have short attention spans, right? And so I like to cut up some of that long form content that I've done into shorter videos. However, if I were to do that manually, again, I am a one woman show. A lot of you know that I am a one woman show. So I host the Hustle and Faith podcast. I'm the producer, the editor, all the things, right? If I had to manually cut up all of those long form videos, I would be insane. As simple as that. And so Opus Clips allows me to upload my video, and then I have the ability to actually choose, hey, I want the short clips that you create to be more talking head videos or more geared towards podcast style or motivational. So it runs it through its like little AI filter thingy, and it cuts up the long form video into multiple short form content. And let me tell you, it is amazing. I don't have to manually do anything. It takes care of the titles, it takes care of cutting down the content to my exact specifications. So if it's going on Instagram Reel, it knows, hey, I need something that's 90 seconds or less. If it's going as a story, it automatically knows which how to cut that particular content to fit that platform that you want it on. So, and then if you want longer videos, you can still do that too. You can go ahead and make that selection, but I'm using Opus Clips for the very reason that it was, in my opinion, created for, which was to cut up long form content. And it does a fantastic job of that. And then, they're constantly adding new features like you can add B-roll. And I can't say enough about that particular service because it has saved me a lot of time. It is a tremendous lifesaver, especially because I like using those shorter videos as like mini commercials or trailers, if you will, for my long form videos. So that's something you may want to keep in mind as well. So another service that I want to share with you is vidIQ. In the event that you are really trying to reduce the time it takes for you to start making an impact on YouTube, then I want you to connect with this particular service because vidIQ does a fantastic job of really helping you to optimize your videos so that they are found within the YouTube algorithm. So it helps me with choosing my titles, making sure I'm using the right description, keyword tags, thumbnail. It just does a really good job of allowing me the ability to make the best video possible. And then some of the other features that I really enjoy about vidIQ is that I have the ability to see, okay, if I were to use this particular thumbnail and I want it to be found for these keywords, I should say, what other videos come up under these keywords? And then I can see the different thumbnails that come up underneath those particular keywords that I'm thinking about using for my video, which is super, super helpful because then you have the ability to kind of capitalize off of maybe some colors or some words or tags or some of the other things that those other creators might have missed. So you're going to be in a position because you have the ability to kind of look at all of these different thumbnails that come up under those particular keywords. You're going to be in a better position to create the best looking thumbnail and having the best keywords in your title to really make sure that your video pops in the algorithm. So hopefully a lot of that made sense, but trust me, this is one particular service that I would think about really kind of biting the bullet and just buying because it is super helpful. in so many different ways. And then, especially for those folks that are kind of like short on time, and maybe you might have like a faceless channel, um, it can actually create video scripts for you. I don't use that particular feature, but you can create video scripts in here as well. It'll give you like the hook and all these. I mean, it's pretty good. So take a look at that if that is of interest to you. And now, a word from our sponsor. Hey, ladies, I just wanted to share my new book, How to Live an Extraordinary Life with or Without Mr. Right. I'm dismantling harmful stereotypes and empowering women to see that singlehood isn't something that you have to survive, it's a place to thrive. Through biblical wisdom and real talk, this book is going to answer key questions such as, what does the Bible actually say about singleness? And how can I reject society's misguided views and embrace God's plan for my life? So if you've ever asked yourself these questions or wondered if something was missing in your life, this is the book for you. It's time to stop waiting and start living. Your life isn't on hold. It's happening right now. Grab your copy today in audio or paperback format at www.withorwithoutmrright.com. Back to the show. Another service that I really like is Streamyard. So I host the Hustle and Faith podcast, and a lot of my guests have mentioned how seamless it is using Streamyard. Like, it really does have a studio feel to it, and it allows you to have really good audio. So I used to use Zoom in the past, and to be quite honest, I just really prefer Streamyard. It really was made for podcasters in mind, especially those that are using video as well. And it's a really good service. I've never really had any major issues in terms of connectivity. It allows you the ability to download your recordings as in the cloud, as well as locally as well. And yeah, it's definitely gives you like more of a, I don't know, like a TV station feel to it, because you have the ability to really jazz up your studio as much as you see fit. You can have different overlays. You can have little tickers at the bottom that are going while you are, conducting your interview. In fact, I am taping this on StreamYard right now. So I really do enjoy using StreamYard. So another service I want to share with you is Hello Audio. Hello Audio is an amazing service for my folks that are really looking to monetize their podcast content, monetize any of their audio format content. So let's say, for example, you had an amazing conference call that you taped, a webinar, any type of audio that you have, and you're looking to monetize it, I would really think about taking a look at Hello Audio. And I really enjoy this platform. In fact, I actually have the audio format for my book posted on Hello Audio. Okay. So you may be wondering, okay, well, why not? Why would you use them? Right. So the main reason why I'm using Hello Audio is because they have figured out how to really have a pleasant listening experience with the ability to monetize your content at the same time. So, for example, when someone purchases a copy of my book in the audio format, they don't have to download all these different apps or anything. Literally, they can just click on the link and it takes them to their favorite podcast directory, and they can listen to it as if they're listening to a podcast. That to me was mind blowing, because think about it, typically, and not to knock this, setup, but many times, folks, you have to download this app and this app and this app. Well, I just want to listen and call it a day, right? Sometimes. And so you have the ability to just go ahead and listen to the content on your favorite like podcast directory. So I can easily go forward, go back. It automatically picks up where I left off at. And many times when you are taking a course, you oftentimes have to figure out, okay, where did I leave off at? Was I in chapter 5 or this? You don't have to worry about any of that. It just knows where you left off at, just like it would a regular podcast. So I have I made the decision to put my content, my audio format for my book using Hello Audio for that very reason. And it's super simple. Like I even have the ability to embed one of the feeds so folks can either listen to chapter one on my website. You can just press play and listen to it on my website on the embedded player, or you can go ahead and sign up and be a part of my mailing list, which will automatically lead you to pressing the link, and then you can listen to it on um, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you like to listen to your podcasts. That's how you can listen to my book. And again, I'm just using this as an example. So if you've got a webinar or a conference call or whatever, you can easily bundle those different types of audio format and go ahead and create a feed and then have your audience listen to it that way. So, this may be something for folks that are looking for alternatives to having their audiobook on Amazon. It's going to allow you the ability to have the yeah, it's going to allow you the ability to have more royalty and more control over your content. It's your audio content, I should say, because there's a lot going on with AI. I'm not going to get into all that, but I just wanted to make sure that I was in a position to really retain as much of my content and my voice and royalties and all that good stuff as possible. So that's one of my main reasons why I use Hello Audio. So, another service I want to share with you is Publisher Rocket. Now, this particular service is really geared towards content creators that eventually want to write a book in the future. And so, Publisher Rocket is going to reduce the time it takes for you to find those keywords, the categories that you should pursue. How do the different book covers look like in that particular category? Because I know there's that statement, you can't judge a book by its cover, but let me tell you, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, especially on Amazon. If that book cover is looking like it's a hot mess, people are not going to click on it. Okay. So it really, Publisher Rocket, I love it because Publisher Rocket literally goes through and does all of the mining for you. So let's say, for example, you're thinking about creating a book in the Christianity space. Okay. So you're trying to figure out what are the keywords I should use? What are the colors I should use? The fonts and all that good stuff. This is going to place you in a better position to make sure that your book is as competitive as possible and looks the part. And so people actually want to purchase it. So I really enjoy Publisher Rocket. If you are thinking about writing a book, even for like the low content stuff, like the journals and things of that nature, as long as it's got an ASIN number, you're going to be in a position to figure out, oh, okay, this particular book is successful because of XYZ. And then you can see the actual keywords that are helping that book rank within Amazon's algorithm. So, can you do that manually? Yeah, you can, but I don't have all the time in the world to do that. So I'm all about shortcuts if I'm in a position to do so. So I'm just going to pay for that shortcut. Okay. Last but not least, if you are a content creator, I want you to add Mighty Networks to your list. I know it may not feel like it now, but you are eventually going to host your own live workshop, a webinar, a course, or even your own community. And wouldn't it be great if you could actually have a service that allows you to do all of those things at one time? And that's where Mighty Networks comes into play because they could literally allow you the opportunity to do all of those things. The flexibility is amazing. The customer service is great. Um, I have been a customer with them for couple months. I think I signed up like back in November-ish or somewhere, and I'm really impressed with the flexibility of the platform. The customer service is great. I have never had an issue with not being able to access, my content or any of that. And it's very simple for folks to sign up. And they have this people magic, which I really like. So it allows you and other members to see how they kind of connect. I don't know how to, I'm probably butchering this, but like I'll leave a little link to how this works in the description. But they have the people magic that allows you the ability to see how closely folks are, like, located next to each other, and then, in the event that folks want to connect offline, they can. But I've been on other community websites that kind of make it a little difficult to figure out, oh, where do you live? Where do you live? No, like literally, you can just go to, there's a little spot in the community that allows you to see how, if there are other folks that are within your area that, you have the ability to reach out and say, hi, hey, I'm also located in Texas or Chicago. And it's really easy to do that. So I really like Mighty Networks. I have not had any issues with them. And the major difference why I chose Mighty Networks is because a lot of these other companies are charging when you reach a certain level with your audience. So let's say you've got 1,000 folks. Okay, you've got 1,000. So now we're going to charge you a little bit extra because you're at the 1,000 tier. There none of that with Mighty Networks. Like, literally, it's based on the plan that you choose, and you can have as many members as you want. So that's something that really resonated with me. Like, I'm just because I have 1,000 members or maybe 200 members, everything is based on the features and not so much how many folks I have in my community. So hopefully that made sense. But that's one of the main reasons why I chose Mighty Networks. And I have not looked back, and um, I really like it. Super easy to use and integrates well with my other software that I like to use. And I know I said that was my last one, but I want to put a bonus service for you guys. Okay. You need an email campaign provider. Cannot say enough about Mailerlite. Mailerlite is one of the best platforms for me because it allows you not only the ability to have these really beautiful templates that you can create or take advantage of and customize. You can create your templates from scratch, but you can also sell like your products and services, your products, like digital products to your email. And they're not taking any like any because I feel like some of these other companies out there, like, they take a percentage. That's not the case with MailerLite, at least at the time of this recording, and so that's definitely something that you might want to explore as well. So, I these are my services that as a content creator I'm constantly being asked, like, "What are your favorite services, Tasha, that you use? What should I use?" And these are my go-to companies, and I know that you're going to enjoy them. And so this particular video is not getting into the nitty-gritty in terms of tutorials. I do a lot of that within the Starring You community, Starring You Squad community, which is I'll leave that in the description. But there you have it. These are my favorite content creation services. And I truly believe that you are going to enjoy these services just as much as I do. In the event that you have any questions, let me know. And if something should be on this list and was not, please be sure to let me know that as well. All of the links to the services that were mentioned in this video can be found in the description. I want you guys to have an awesome time in your content creation journey and just focus on the journey and having fun because that's what it's really all about. Okay. You're going to have a lot of ups and downs, more ups than downs. Okay. But these services are going to place you in a position that will reduce the time it takes for you to connect with your audience. All right. Remember, if you're everything to everyone, then you risk being no one. You never know who you will inspire. See you in the next episode.